Welcome to a series of videos called English for Emerson. On this channel, we learn about some basic English reading and writing. And sometimes I give you a great big lecture about something. I don't think I'm going to do that today. I feel you never know, it might happen, but I don't have one planned. Now, we've been at the restaurant and we've been ordering our food. So far, we've walked in, the waitress asked us, "Hi, how you doing? Can I take your order?" We ordered pizza. We've ordered our drinks. The waitress has come by and asked us, "How is everything?" We've said everything's fantastic. And now we're coming to the end of our meal. And the waitress is now, of course, usually they come up to you at a sit-down restaurant and they'll ask you, "Can I bring you any dessert?" And I'm going to write it right up here. Can I bring you any dessert? Dessert is kind of a weird word. I'm going to put it right up here. D-E-S-S-E-R-T, I believe is how it's spelled. Now we have another word in English called a desert, which is a very, very similar word. Dessert, desert. Dessert, desert. Isn't that interesting? There couldn't be two things more different in this world than a dessert and a desert. Dessert, desert. They're totally opposite. But the only thing that's different about them is one S. And they almost sound the same. Can I bring you a piece of desert? I don't think so. I don't think so. But let's just say we're celebrating, okay? Let's say we're celebrating. And that would be the only time I would order any dessert. So if I was celebrating something. I'll have a piece of chocolate cake with ice cream. That's what I'm going to order for dessert. What are you going to have for dessert? Are you going to have ice cream? You're going to have chocolate cake? You're going to have a piece of apple pie maybe? If we're at a pizza restaurant, probably they don't have apple pie. They usually have a cake or some kind of fancy Italian dessert that I don't know how to spell. But I'm going to order a piece of chocolate cake with vanilla ice cream. I don't think I have enough room up here to write vanilla. I don't think I have enough room. So we're just going to start it off with, "I'll have a piece of chocolate cake," and we'll see how far we get after that. Okay, I don't even know if I'll be able to fit in ice cream. We'll see. Here we go. You need something to write with. And lines going side to side. We're going to start off with a capital I. For I'll have a piece of chocolate cake. Here we go. Straight line down. The board wants to move. That's how we start our I. And then a line at the top and a line at the bottom. Just like that. Now remember that we usually don't hear people say "I will." We usually hear "I'll." It's done with an apostrophe. I might write apostrophe up here. An apostrophe is this little dash between the top and the midline that kicks out the W-I in will and makes it from "I will" to "I'll." I'll. That's nice. That's nicely done. Have. You hear the H in have? I do. Ha. That's a short A. Have. V. I hear the V. I'm trying to write my letters kind of skinny so I can fit everything in here. Usually I write them kind of fat. I'll have. Got that silent E on the end of it for no reason at all. But it's there. It's there at silent E. I'll have a piece. I'm going to see if I can fit piece right in over here. the lowercase p goes below the bottom line. So important. Lowercase p is one of those only letters that goes below the bottom line. Now the next letter in peace is a lowercase I, believe it or not. Doesn't make sense. But in some words, the combination of the combination of I-E makes the sound E. Isn't that weird? I don't understand English. I just don't understand it. Sometimes the sound E is made by EA. Sometimes the sound E is made by EE. Sometimes the sound E is made by IE. Sometimes the sound E is made by a Y. A heck of a lot of things can make the sound E. In this case, we're using IE. And then we got the sound. This is made by a soft C. And then a silent E at the end. Now this silent E, I don't know. It's there. You can't really say that this silent E makes these things sound like themselves. It's just there. We know that E is going to be silent because there's other vowels in the word before it. So the E at the end of a word is silent if there's other vowels in the word before it. And the vowels here are I, E. Now, there's a different kind of peace. This is what makes English so darn confusing. Well, it's one of the things that makes English confusing is that you have the same sounding words that mean different things. And there's a different kind of peace. A peace that's calm. There's a peace that's calm. Everybody, no. I need peace and calm. Or I need peace and quiet. But that's not this kind of peace. This is a piece of bread. Like, I'll have a piece of bread here. Do you follow me? This is a piece of bread. But a piece of... and a peace that comes over a person when they're calm. That's a different kind of peace. Peace that is calm, like a peace came over the ocean and the waves stopped. Do you follow me? That is P-E-A-C-E. I'll write it up here. That's peace that's calm. It's a totally different piece. So isn't it interesting today? We got dessert and desert. We got peace and peace. That's crazy English. I have a piece of... Remember that's O-F. Not a very good F. Not O-V. I'll have a piece of chocolate cake. That starts with a C-H. I hope that you remember that ch is made with the letters C-H. Ch. Cha. Now we got a hard C. Choco. Let is L-A-T-E. L-A. Starts like a C. And we connect it down. Chocolate. With a T. I'm trying to squeeze cake in here at the end. I don't know if I can make it. I think I can. Of chocolate cake. I know I'm going kind of fast, but I think that you're able to keep up. I hope so. If you can't, pause the video. I'll have a piece of chocolate cake. Cake is C-A-K-E. Isn't that interesting? There's two sounds in cake. One's made by the C. The first one's made by the C. The second one's made by the K. Makes no sense. That's English. That's English. The first is made by a hard C. The second in cake is made by a K. Straight line down. One arm, one leg, and then I'm going to squeeze in my E right there. Can you believe that? I made it just perfect. Golly, sometimes, I'm just so good. I mean, that just ended perfect. It's just scary sometimes how good I am. I'll have a piece of chocolate cake with ice cream. Okay, here we go. I wonder if you can hear the first letter of the word with. W. Like water, with. I hear the W. I hope you do too. Right there. We go down, we go up, we go down, and we go up again to the midline. With. Do you hear the next letter in with? I hear the I. That's a short I. I. And then we got that funny sound that's in English is we put our tongue between the two sets of teeth. With. TH makes the sound TH. Difficult sound to make if you're not used to that. In English. TH. With ice cream. Can you hear the first sound of ice? I hear it. It's an I. Lowercase I, and then CE. Ice. That's a soft C, and then a silent E. Now, how do we know that E is going to be silent at the end of that word? Look, we got a lot of silent E's today. Look at them all. Look at all these silent E's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do we know? I'll bet you can tell me, and I hope you can. How do we know that all these E's are going to be silent? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do we know they're going to be silent? Because every single one of these words has other vowels before that E in that word. This one has an A. Peace has an E, or I-E. Those are vowels. Chocolate's got a lot of vowels. There's an O, and an A. Cake has an A, and ice has an I. All those words have other vowels before the E. That's what makes the E at the end of the word silent. I talk about that in every lesson, and I ain't gonna quit. And then our last word on this. I'll have a piece of chocolate cake with ice cream. I probably could have fit vanilla. I'm doing so good, but I'm just gonna write ice cream and not worry about the vanilla. You can put vanilla if you want to. Or you can have chocolate ice cream. You can have any flavor ice cream you want. CR. That's how we start off cream. We start off cream with a hard C. Isn't it interesting? The letter C. How many different sounds it makes in this sentence. It makes a bunch of different sounds. Cream is C-R-E-A-M. We got an M in here today. 1 hill and 2. I'll have a piece of chocolate cake with ice cream. Ooh, man, that's going to be good. I never eat that stuff. I quit eating cake and ice cream. Well, sometimes I do have a ice cream, but I rarely have a piece of cake. But we're celebrating today. But look at all the different C's in this. How many C's we got in here? Let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And look at all the different sounds. We got a S, soft C, ch. We got a C that's in our ch. We got a hard C, chocolate. We got a hard C for cake. We got S, a soft C for ice. And then we got another hard C for cream. We got a heck of a lot of C's in this. A heck of a lot of C's. And there we go. We've finished up our order. And this is it. We've only got one more lesson on the restaurant. Thank goodness. You know, actually, I'm getting tired of the restaurant. I was ready to go home after ordering the water. I was already ready to go home and quit for the night. I was getting tired. But, you know, we still have to have dessert. And we still, you know, the thing is, we still have to pay. We can't just go in and eat without paying. So that's our next lesson, is we got to pay. Yeah, absolutely. And so that's what we're going to do. Next lesson, we're going to figure out how we're going to pay for all this. And it'll be very interesting because we got to make a tip. We got to figure out how to do that. And that's complicated. That's complicated. We're going to have to do some math in the next lesson because we got to figure out how to pay and do the tip. Oh my goodness. I'll have a piece of chocolate cake with ice cream for dessert. I hope that you are having something good for dessert. And we'll see you next time on English for Emerson. Bye-bye.